Hello guys, hello guys, hello guys, and welcome to another one of my Warriors of Nom Nom videos. So, 42 players online, which is pretty amazing, and let me just be honest and say that it has been quite a while since I was in this game. Not that I'm gonna be forgetting it, because of course I want to get my month's mythic rank. Oh yes, I do. So, last time I was in here, I kind of found what I believe to be a counter for the in the soup card, and what I wanted to look into this time is to find out, is Glenn or Lady Munch the ideal character to make an anti in the soup build. So I'm gonna look into Glenn first because he has an additional power-up slot. So I'm just gonna be removing cards here. He has 4 card options, and what I'm looking for is things that double my per hit, not things that give me more things, because it is in the double that even if you are reduced to having 1, you actually have still more than 1. So like if you double 1, you have 2, so if you're reduced to 1 within the soup, you can still have 2 per tap. So here we have 33% of getting the 2, and I don't want the per sec stuff. Obviously I want in the soup. So it appears that he only has 1 card that allows you to increase the amount your tap power, and you can only get 1. So that's not really that cool, meaning that a build such as this would probably be the best that I could do. But then if I face in the soup, I only have a 33% chance of beating my opponent. But it's still pretty cool. I think it is. I'm going to try with it because we also have this card here. So if we're not facing in the soup, which is there, then we are going to have... Whoops. Where is it hiding when I want to show it? So we discard the opponent's first card, and we have this one here. So if there is no in the soup, we have 3 points per tap. If there is in the soup, we have 1 point per tap and 2 points per second, and a 33% chance of having 2 points per tap. Plus, of course, we are penalizing the opponent within the soup. So I'm going to try this out for a few games to see how this works, and then I'm gonna be looking into Lady as well, just to see if she has better options, because obviously we cannot base our gaming on going just anti. That's just not good enough. So here we have it actually going to the go in right away and play into in the soup, and we get the boost for it. No, we don't get in the soup, but we get our X2 without having in the soup, so we are looking at 6 points per tap. That is pretty awesome. I'm twisting my phone like this when I'm tapping so that I have a better tapping area. It's really the only way for me to play games such as Warriors of Nom Nom, because going like this means that I just don't have space enough to hit. But if I twist it so that I go horizontal instead of vertical, I have a larger clicking area. Well, I can hit a larger part of the base clicking area, and that is what I need to do. So up against Turkey here, once again getting 6 points per tap, so we're really really drawing nicely into the 33% here, doing it twice in a row. I mean, obviously the odds for that are 100% since we're doing it, but it's pretty lucky. I wouldn't mind having that kind of luck for a very long time. As you can see, I'm down to rank 18, so there is quite a way up to the mythic rank, and we are quite a bit into December. But normally when I play Warriors of Nom Nom, I do my gaming in like 1-2 days and just really crush it. So not getting our boost here, but we should have our opponent down to 1 point per tap, and we are getting 3 plus 1 per second. So that is, I mean, this should be a pretty safe play unless we run up against somebody playing with a macro, and yeah, that happens quite a bit, but not enough for it to ruin my gaming. So good times, good times. I'm thinking I just wanna like do few ranks just to check out. I mean, we haven't faced in the soup yet, so those are gonna be tough battles, I think. Because we only have the 33% chance of having the 2 points per tap. So once again here we're running at 6 points per tap, plus 1 per second, so pretty nice setup, I think. Very solid build so far, but then again, low rank and no in the soup opponents, so guess it doesn't really count. We're just gonna keep going. And we'll find out if it is anywhere close to efficient. Obviously I need to base it on quite a few battles where I'm facing in the soup for it to have any real value. But, I mean, if I can just trailblaze through the entire system here, it's good enough for me, really. And I'm playing, as you guys can see, just at the bottom of the screen there is like a little bit of line. That is because I'm playing with the banners enabled. So I'm watching the banners, but I see no reason to include them in the video as well. So that's why I capped it a bit at the bottom. And what it also does is that it allows me to have a wider part of my video covered with the game. Because with these, I mean, when a game is designed like this, it's pretty hard to record it in a meaningful way. I could add black to both sides and stuff like that. It's just not really that cool. So we're facing in the soup now, and we're failing. We're not getting our 33%. We're getting 1 per second and 1 per tap. Not freezing our opponent like I normally do. So we are pretty much in a very equal battle here, where our opponent has 1 point per tap, as we do. Something per second that I do not know what is, and apparently I'm clicking faster than the opponent, which is why we are going to be winning this battle here. So that's nice. So it's nice to know that my fingers still work in terms of Warriors of Nom Nom clicking, because it has been quite a while since I've been clicking like crazy with all my university work. Haven't done as much case clicker campaign stuff as I wanted and stuff like that on my main channel, so yeah, I'm a bit out of shape. So that was the first battle, facing in the soup, and it went well, so that's good. Oh yes it is. Oh yes it is. So let's get another one going here. So 3 points per tap. Our opponent has 1. Should be decent. I mean, for me, 3 points per tap, it's just epic. 6 is just silly. I'm not saying that I'm guaranteed to win if I have 3 points per tap. It's not like that. It's just, it's power compared to 1, because that is what we're giving or forcing the opponent to have, just the 1 per tap, unless they have a build that gives them a chance to get x2 or x something else, really. Blue Dragon. Okay, so once again getting the 3 points per tap and 1 per second. And a banana split. What's not to like, guys? What's not to like? So I mean, this is working, obviously. It's not really what I wanted it to be, because my aim was to find the best anti-deck for in the soup. And the only anti-thing we really have here against in the soup is a 33% chance to get the double tapping power. So I don't think that this is the ideal deck for that. On the other hand, it's really working out nicely. So it's pretty all-round, and it has a chance to give you like an extra fighting chance against in the soup. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna run rank 17 with it here, and then try to look into the lady and see if she has better anti in the soup options for us to play around with, because that is what I wanted to do. So just hopefully a single game more here with our buddy, our pal Glenn. Oh yes. Oh, come on, sous chef. Recombobulating. Okay, so same deal here. Not running into that much soup, which is a good thing, but I find that's often how it is down here in the low end of the ranking system. Once we get on the other side of 10, it gets to be like a more consistent part of the decks. That's like my experience anyway. So enough with that, let's try to make a new deck here and look at Lady Munch here. So she has a base of 2 per tap. So you can actually go with In the Soup and Humble Pie and give your opponent 0 per tap. That would be fun to do. But that was not what I wanted to do. But it is something I am going to have to try with. So we have the bananas again. And so this is pretty much the same as with Glenn. We don't have additional options to counter In the Soup, but what we can do is that we can add In the Soup. Of course, this makes us like super vulnerable to the discard your opponent's first card kind of thing. But yeah, that's just how it is. So if we add in the Soup, our opponent has 1 point per tap. We can then add in the Humble Pie. So our opponent should now have 0 points per tap. And then we kind of just want to boost our own stuff. And I guess we should just go with bread and butter. Because then we will have 2 per second if we are going to be facing In the Soup, which is pretty good, and our opponent should have 0 per tap. So that could also be a way to counter it, to say none of us are getting anything at all per tap. I'm getting 1, you're getting 0, and I'm getting 2 per second. It's a bit hard here because you cannot really see what your opponent has. I cannot see if my opponent is running at 0 PPT, but I can see that I am being penalized within the Soup. And I guess what I really should do here is fire up BlueStacks or one of the other apps that I have and see if the other side is playing with a 0 PPT. But I could also just wait it out. So something is definitely being eaten, meaning that we're not looking at an opponent that is completely unable to eat the food, but that could also be due to the discard or something else. I don't know if you get like the multiplier, if you get 2x on your tapping power, if that is applied before the -1, things like that. It's pretty hard to say, because then it would be 1 times 2 is 2, -1 is 1. So a lot of like factors that can come into play here, but as with Glenn, I'm just gonna be playing this deck a few times, see how it works out. It's probably gonna be super viable, but it's still not the deck that I wanted to play. So I'm gonna be thinking a bit more about other characters that I can fool around with and play with, because I do know that there are some pretty nice options. There are also options that only affect the gaming at the start, like the first kind of seconds you get a boost or chance at a boost. But then if your opponent paralyzes or freezes you, you kind of lose the effect of that card, and that's really horrible. So, no, not Glenn, go back. Like that. Oh goody, easy paints. Pizza. Everybody loves pizza. I do anyway. Yeah. So I'm thinking, guys, this is it's really hard to test this without having another device where the other side is running on. And even though I can do it because I have more devices I can mirror, it really creates a like super laggy experience for both devices on the screen, making it really hard to see anything. So I think I'm gonna be testing that without recording it, and then the next time I do a Warriors of Nom Nom, if I found out something cool, I'll just be updating with what I found, or perhaps throw in like a few images instead of going videos about it, because yeah, it just makes like absolutely horrible laggy videos. So just gonna scoop rank 16 to the end here, and then I'm gonna be calling it a day in terms of Warriors of Nom Nom gaming, and I'm probably gonna be going in and doing a few ranks every now and then, so I don't have everything waiting to be clicked out of the way right before New Year's Eve. Really just trying to hang on to getting that mythic rank every single month, so that I can stay as the player in the world with the most mythic ranks ever, because that's super cool. Kinda makes me world champion. Okay, so my game is stalling now. I'm clicking it really, but nothing's happening, so I guess that makes this a pretty ideal place to stop. As always guys, thank you very much for watching.